بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إن الدين عند الله الإسلام.
Now, Mullah, my question is, with regard to the evolution of Homo sapiens, you have Charles Darwin in Science giving an explanation that it's because of the process of natural selection that the human beings have evolved. Now, this seems to be in contradiction with the Islamic belief that we are the children of Adam alayhi salam. Now, how can this be reconciled?
It's a very important question. No lecture of mine on this topic of Quran modern science is complete without this question. I've given this talk in various places, in Canada, in USA, in UK, in Saudi. Never is this topic complete, never is the question answer complete without this important question of theory of evolution. Charles Darwin, sister posed the question, how can you reconcile the Quran with Darwin's theory of evolution? Sister, I have not come across any book which says fact of evolution. All the books say theory of evolution. There is no book I have come across saying fact of evolution. If you read the book by Charles Darwin, The Origin of Species, it says that Charles Darwin went on an island by the name of Calotropis on a ship named as HMS Beagle. And there he found birds pecking at niches. Depending upon the ecological niches they pecked, the beaks kept on becoming long and short. This observation was made in the same species, not in different species. Charles Darwin wrote a letter to his friend Thomas Thompson in 1861 saying, I do not believe in natural selection, the word that you used. I don't believe in theory of evolution because I've got any proof. I only believe in it because it helps me in classification of embryology, in morphology, in rudimentary organs. Charles Darwin himself said that there were missing links. He didn't agree with it. He himself said that there were missing links. Therefore, if I have to insult someone, that if you were present at Darwin's time, this theory would have been proved right, trying to insinuate that he looks like an ape. It's a joke we make. The reason that this theory, in most parts of the world, it is taught as good as fact. You know why? Even when I was in school, I learned about Darwin's theory. And even today they are taught. You know what the reason is, sister? The reason is because that if you analyze the church was against science previously. And you know the incidents that they sentenced Galileo to death. They sentenced Galileo to death. Why? Because he said certain statements in astronomy, etc., which went against the Bible, so they sentenced him to death, for which the Pope apologized now. So, when Charles Darwin came up with a theory which goes against the Bible, they didn't want any sufficient proof. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. So all the scientists, most of them, they support the theory because it went against the Bible, not because it was true. They only supported it because it went against the Bible. All the stages you have mentioned, sister, all the stages, Lucy, there were 4 hominids. Science tells us today there are 4 hominids. First is Lucy, along with its guide, the Australopithecus, which died about 3.5 million years, Ice Age. Then next came the Homo sapiens, we died about 500,000 years ago. Then came the Neanderthal man, we died 100 to 40,000 years ago. Then came the 4th stage, the Cro-Magnon. There is no link at all between these stages. According to P.P. Grasset in 1971, who held the chair of evolutionary studies in Paris, in the Sorbonne University, he said, it is absurd. We cannot say who are ancestors based on fossils. I can give you a list of hundreds of scientists and Nobel Prize winners who speak against Darwin's theory. Hundreds. If you know of Sir Albert Georgi, who got the Nobel Prize for inventing the vitamin C, he wrote a book, The Crazy Ape and Man, against Darwin's theory. Again, if you read Sir Fred Hoyle's works, he wrote several works against Darwin's theory. If you know about Rupert Stalbert, this person wrote a new theory of evolution against Darwin's theory. It's unthinkable. You cannot think that we are created from the apes. If you know of Sir Frank Salisbury, he was a biologist. He said it is illogical to believe in Darwin's theory. If you know about Whitemeat, Sir Whitemeat, he wrote a book against Darwin's theory. He was also a biologist. Several, you can give a list of hundreds. Today it is taught in the schools. Why? I told you. Media is in their hand. Otherwise, there's no proof at all. There are certain proofs at lower levels. An amoeba at lower species level, amoeba can change to paramecia. Quran does not say amoeba cannot change to paramecia. Quran does not say. If they have got proof, can be possible. It's not against the Quran. But there's no proof at all. People talk about molecular biology theory. They talk about genetic coding. According to Francis Crick, who's authority in this field, he said it is unimaginable. Again, if you do that ratio, the probability of one DNA forming from ape to human being is again 0. If I start calculating, I think we'll get bored again. You know the calculation I told you for one protein molecule? It is somewhat similar from one DNA. It is not possible at all. You know, there's a theory recently that homosexuality is genetic. And when I read in the Times of India, I thought, surely, the moment I attend the next lecture on Sunday in IRF, I'll be asked this question. If homosexuality is genetic, how can Allah blame us? Quran speaks against homosexuality. And I said that, see, this is a theory. Wait till it gets established. It's a theory. Don't comment on that. Within the matter of span of this few months, it was proved to be illogical. And the person who propounded this theory that homosexuality is genetic himself was an homosexual. Therefore I said, I'm going to give my talk on scientific facts, not on theories and assumptions. Darwin's theory has not been proven. We have not been created from ape. There are hundreds of scientists who speak against that, and Quran speaks against that also. Quran says the first man was Adam, peace be upon him. Inshallah, they'll discover it 100 years afterwards, or maybe 1,000 years afterwards. Today there is research showing that human beings have been created from one pair. Again, it's just a theory. It supports the Quranic verse that human beings have been created from one pair, male and female. It's just a theory. Therefore, I don't quote that in my talk. Inshallah, it will be established 50 years afterwards or 100 years afterwards. Then we'll know that Quran conciliates with this part. So far, it's not conflicting. It's not conflicting with established science at all. Hope that answers the question.
The next question.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Abdul Samim. I'm a student. In the Quran, it is stated that the hearts of the unbelievers are sealed. But according to science, it is the brain that thinks and not the heart. Your comment, please.
The brother posed a question that the Quran says that the unbelievers' hearts have been sealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today science tells us it's the brain that thinks and not the heart, and I do agree with him. So even the Quran unscientific when it says that the heart has been sealed, and I do agree, Quran says that in several places, including Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse number 7, that Allah has sealed the hearts of the kafir people. It says that. The seal has been put on the hearts. If you know the Arabic word used here is qalb. The Arabic word qalb has got two meanings. One is heart, and the other is intelligence. So if you translate correctly, the word says, Allah has sealed the intelligence of the unbelievers. And it's scientifically proven that intelligence has to be sealed, not the organic heart. But there was a person who once posed me the question, Brother Zakir, I agree with you that qalb means heart as well as intelligence. But one verse in the Quran says the hearts are behind the breast. Then what do you have to give the answer for that? And he was quoting a verse of the Quran from Surah Hajj, chapter 22, verse number 46, which says that their eyes are not blind. It is the heart which is in their breast which is blind. So Quran says the eyes are not blind. It is the heart which is within the breast which is blind. The science tells us eyes see, heart cannot see. So isn't this verse unscientific? Here the translation has to be heart. It can't be intelligence. So I tell him, I agree with you, the heart has got two translations. But the word used for breast is sadar. Sadar. Sadar also has got two meanings. One is breast and the other is center. You know how we have the head of an institution, we say sadar of the institution. Like how we have center, if you have been to Pakistan, how in India we have choke. Over there they have centers. Sadr so-and-so in Pakistan, center so-and-so. Sadr also means center. So the correct translation is, the eyes is not which is blind. It is the intelligence which is within the center which is blind. Same, I started my talk by quoting a verse of the Holy Quran from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse number 25 or 28, which says, Rabbish rahli sadri. O my Lord, increase my breast for me. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. This was a dua made by Musa alayhi salam when he was asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go and deliver the message to the people. He asked Allah, "Oh my Lord, increase my breast for me." See, breast is not the correct translation. What's the breast got to do with this message? It means, "Oh my Lord, increase my center for me. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri, and make my task easy for me. وَحَلُّ الْعُقْدَةَ مِنْ لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي, and remove the impediment from my speech so that they will understand me. As you know, Musa alayhi salam was a stammerer. And if you know, whether fortunately or unfortunately, even I happen to be a stammerer. In childhood I was a stammerer. Therefore, at the beginning of every talk, and even the beginning of this talk, I said, and I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbi shrah li sadri. Oh my Lord, increase my center for me. I'm asking help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Increase my center and remove the stuttering in my speech. Even today, when I don't speak on the stage, I yet stutter. It's Allah who helps me out on the stage. Rabbi shrah li sadri. Oh my Lord, increase my center for me. Make my task easy for me and remove the barrier from my speech and between me and the audience so that they will understand me. Therefore, scientifically, if you analyze the work of Surah Hajj, chapter 22, verse number 46, it says it is not the eyes which are blind. It is the intelligence which is within the center is blind. Because they are not blind, the unbelievers can see. Saying they are blind is unscientific. Like the Quran says in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse number 18, it says that deaf, dumb, the blind, they will not return to the path. Summum, bukmun, umyun fahum la yarjiun. The deaf, the dumb, the blind, they will not return to the path. It's not talking about physical deaf people. It's talking about unbelievers who are hearing, they cannot hear. Seeing the signs of Allah, they don't accept the Quran. So, Quran is more scientific. It says correctly, they can see. The eyes are not blind. It is the intelligence within the center which is blind.